I wanted to talk tonight a little bit about the the myth of arriving, the myth of arriving that I'm gonna awaken in some future moment, that something profound is gonna happen to me. So there can be like a sense of waiting, like it's not quite this. So that can just be that can just be noticed. That sense of this isn't it. That sense of this isn't it, is it appear appearing as the feeling that this isn't it, but it's still this. And it's always been this. I mean, if there's a realization, I would say that's it. It's that it's always been this. Hey, Indira, welcome. So that's that word already. All is this already. Now, as a seeker, I can't really hear that. All is this already can only be heard when it's heard. And all of this already is so beautiful because it's all inclusive. So it's includes all thoughts, good and bad, preferred and not preferred, all emotions. It's all this. So it's of course it's welcomed. So like the cosmic joke is that it's never been you. It's always been this. Like just take that in. Like it's always been this, everything, every thought, every feeling, every emotion, every goal, every purpose, every breakup, everything. So a feeling of anxiety, that's it. So that's why I call it the myth of arriving, because that's what the mind would have you believe. Oh, we're almost there. Definitely making progress. Probably just around the next bend.
It is around the next bend. It's here. It's here, and it's around the next bend.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Where,
Yeah, it's always been here. I don't know if some of you heard, I read some of Indira's beautiful writing a couple days ago and posted it on a video. And the whole thing was pointing to just what's happened, just this, the simplicity of what is. So I want to say a couple of things. First, welcome to Katie. Uh, Good to have you here. And yeah, to Pasha and Katie, first timers. And this is an open meeting. So everyone's invited to participate. If you have a comment or question, just feel free to unmute and jump in.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So here we go with the already and the joke that this that there's another bin to go, another turn to go through to find this. And then here's my question. Can it also include a sense of a doer, a sense of doing? Or in order for this place that you're speaking of, Michael, can it, like, after it's realized, can it then go back to what, as Leela speaks of mountains are mountains again, that third view in the Zen game? Can it include the sense of, and there is a personal experience here. There is some doership. What do you find with that one?
Yeah, no problem. That's it too. The infinite and the finite are not two. So you can have you can have all the doership you want. It's still this. It's still the infinite appearing finite, right? How else?
Because I was going to talk. I still have a question for. I was going to talk with Indira about this because this is, and Alexis knows this. She hears this a lot in my stuff online with the IFS. But there is this idea of kind of maintaining the sense of some personalness in this, some sense of, because I find the identity, some teachers will speak of the identity localizing, a sense of it's localizing here. And there's a yumminess in having a sense of an identity. Wow, the virtual reality is working. Sid's having an experience in time where if it falls in a little further than that, it's not just, there's just a little move where it all becomes timeless, and there isn't a sense of time, and there's not a sense of a person interacting in time. And what about that?
Well, I would say there's only now.
Sid, when you brought in the idea of place, were you speaking about the sense of an internal place, or were you talking about an external place, or is there such a thing, etc.?
Well, well, this is the personal. It's like the localization of the sense of I, because as we open up, the I becomes this awareness, this spacious presence. And then there also the sense of the personal I that actually does have a location. It's located, well, it's sitting here on the couch at this time, and that's what kind of in the awakening journey, it seems to go in and out, and it's very important into parts of Sid that maintains that we also maintain a sense of localizing, or at least have the ability to move in and out of that.
Yeah.
Did that answer, Alexis?
Yeah.
Yes, Sid, for me, it came full circle. It's back to I as the default, and that's why meetings like this are a little enjoyable because you can all talk about what isn't so local, but yeah, the story is still the main story kind of deal. Is for me. So it's just different, a little different. I don't know how to describe it.
So I'm a bit jet lagged. I just got off of a trip, so I'm just melting into listening to everyone, feeling into everyone. Sid, when you say doership, what do you mean by doership?
Yeah.
Where do you see the doership in you?
This is the localizing. This is the sense of a personal localizing, in the sense of, oh, I'm choosing to go on the Zoom tonight with my friends. And we can also find where it's just beingness moving, right? You can find that. But at the same time, where there's a sense, oh, I'm choosing this. It's like, oh, wow, and Indira's here. This is so cool. I'm happy about that. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, like something in Sid becomes happier. But like, that's what there's a doership with the identification, with the localizing.
Doership. So there can be role playing here, getting off the plane, my my role as a flight attendant, and just I wouldn't call it doership. I would just say the body doing what it's doing, you know, preparing drinks, preparing meals, having conversations with a coworker. It's much simpler. To me, it feels much more simpler. Uh, so when you say doership, I think of thoughts. What comes up to me is thoughts that claim as a self, or thoughts that say I'm doing this, or we're going to do this, and which are just thoughts. But in reality, it's just simple. Like right now, in this moment, the hands are moving. I'm talking to you. It's just words or just thoughts. It's really simple. There's no doership. It's just happening. I think that's what's so funny about all of this. Sometimes it cracks me up because I'm not even I'm not even premeditating what's coming out of this mouth. It's so much simpler. Do you know what I mean? Like I could be playing outside, doing the hula hoop or whatever, with friends, the Indira character, and that's just playing, having fun. And before you know it, it's done and forgotten, or maybe remembered. But I don't know. Does that?
Oh, and can we all feel that? I mean, I can so feel the freedom that Indira is speaking of here, as it just moves, it just is, and it's just, wow, there's talking and there's getting off the plane, and it's lovely. And I know that place, and it can go like, that's when I kind of turn up when the background turns up, or there's a sense of surrendering to this. I can't touch it as cleanly as it is in you, but I'm talking about almost going the opposite direction, and just for fun, it's like almost like turning the knob of the foreground of the person up, of the sensations, and it personalizes. And then there's a sense of, whoa, I'm in virtual reality and I'm really in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a customer gets upset with me because I didn't acknowledge him. And all of a sudden there's a reaction that comes out of her like, oh, what did I do wrong? That thought comes right up. And maybe a little of identification for a moment, but it's seen as that, and then it's done. Happening throughout the day, playing roles.
Well, it's interesting because we hear it in the non-dual teachers, where some of them will actually say the character Sid, the character Indira. They'll even give it a name where it's like a third person. The character is doing this because they're resting as this that is aware, which I'm hearing some of in Indira's in your system, Indira, and it's interesting. And then you have some. It's like the use of the word "I." It's very interesting. Like when we use the word "I," what are we speaking of? What's it attached to?
Well, language it comes automatically. When this was first seen about, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, a year ago, I had shared this at this meeting. I didn't even want to talk because everything that came out of here is just sentences and sometimes concepts and sometimes dualistic words, but we have to communicate. Then something intuitive came through, and it was like, if it had words, it's like, it's okay. You got to communicate. Everything is okay. There's nothing wrong with even saying I, you know, and this is for me, this is like part of the integration of all of this. It's okay to say I, even though I can see that when I close my eyes, there's no I in here. It's just a body speaking, words coming out. But it's part of being human as well, because the human character uh, from a child was taught my food, my name, my hair, my body, my skin. It's ingrained in here, as is with everyone here, I'm sure, when we talk and have conversations. Mhm.
Yeah,
It,
it's, oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go, Katie.
Yeah, it seems like you can, it's almost like you can travel lighter, just like Hederman talks about, if you don't take that identification as being a doer, because then you're going up and down, depending on the circumstances that are already okay. But I'm wanting it to be a certain way is what happens. And that person didn't address me properly. And so I'm acting out from that doership. And it's almost like an actor playing a role. And and he's identified with that. And that Don will say, well, what's wrong with that? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, and I keep on bringing up that it's more preferential to travel lighter, to not take it so seriously.
Mm, mm,
Because that whole idea of I got to get this, just like you said at the beginning, the seeker is always looking for that experience, that heightened experience that it had years ago or yesterday. But it could have been 30, 40, 50 years ago, and it's still seeking that feeling, that emotion, instead of recognizing that it's always been here. And and I'm looking forward. It's just a big. It's not a mistake, but it's almost like that idea of a doer can be depressed or elated, and and I'd rather be okay, just content with myself. It's almost like in the center right here, the vertical line of just noticing life happening and just noticing that these actor thoughts are coming up and trying to get me to act, get me to respond and to move in a certain way so that I could find that feeling again.
mm.
Katie, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna share it's like water, like trying to hold water in your hands, like cup it in your hands, and it's like slipping through that identification. Like f for me, just to speak, plainly, like Indira was saying, like I do notice how when I'm experiencing a sensation that's difficult, that my mind labels as difficult or challenging, and you know, is definitely not preferred, which comes up, there is still a, well, it's kind of like a story because it is a story because I'm describing it now. I have no idea what will happen, you know? But what has happened still recently is there's like a going to seeking because I think like the mind scrambling to if you do this or if you get that, you'll feel better. And it's like a habitual reaction to that discomfort. But at the same time, like I said, it's like trying to hold on to water because you can't unsee what you've seen, that there's no one doing that. So, yeah, it's for me, I'm kind of in this in between place where I can, if you will, again, it's a story because I have no idea like how much I'll play or how much I won't. But yeah, there still can be because I think maybe of things I've experienced or whatever, like a wanting to buy into the story that if I get these things, I'll feel better because that's like a coping mechanism kind of that's been honed. But at the same time, I really resonate with this so much that it's like you were saying, Manny, that at some point, when are you tired of the ups and downs? Or that's what I'm taking from what you said. Like the elation or the despair, and you can still have that if it happens. But I think what you're speaking to is, I liked what you said about, I just like, I'm okay just being. Yeah.
That was really, really nice. Really, really well said. And Sid, going back to what you were saying before about turning up the volume of the personal sensations, is there actually a separate entity who's responsible for doing that? Like if I took a hammer and I gave you a good whack on the head, would there be a decision, oh, now I'm going to turn up, there's this separate entity that's going to turn up the volume, or would it just be ow? Just ow.
Mhm.
It's so tricky with what for me, Alexis, with what you're describing. That at first it felt binary. It felt like, well, the personality is in the foreground and it's loudest, and then it was like, or then you can shift, and or then we'd go back to being this, where if you hit me with the hammer, there might be a little response, but then here I am in this fulfillment of being, in the bliss of being, where I'm in the personnel. Like, what the hell, Alexis? I like you. You're my friend. Why are you hitting me with the hammer? You know, and it's like
Sorry about that.
what I, what I'm what yeah. It's like, but what's so interesting for me is almost like it's a spectrum. Like we even have where Indira is, where Indira, we could all feel where Indira is, but it goes further, right? Like you almost like this is where there's always a sense of like Sid, be careful, don't go too far, which might not translate. But because as we know, like as agency is something that is we create the sense of the subject and object, and we can see through that, which is like Manny's talking about that just being this, and where Indira is. But then we have to be careful because just as that is created, the sense of space and time and having experience in space and time is also something that the system can see through. We know some people who just go into the bliss of meditation and they don't come out, and they just want to stay there. And so that's where it's feeling more of a spectrum here that I'm just becoming really interested in like being on different places in the spectrum, that in that.
Right.
Yellow. So there's no enlightenment here. I'm seeking, and there's waiting for something to happen.
Mhm.
It's happening. Um, if it was up to me, I wouldn't choose that. I would choose to be at peace and no more seeking. Um, but the waiting, I would say, is because I've heard events people describe something drops away, the sense of being an independent self. Not as separate, because I know I'm separate from the blanket, but independent. The sense of being independent falls away. And that's what my understanding of enlightenment is. So I could have the knowledge of, see everything is mystery and holy shit and trip out of reality and everything, but that's not enough because seeking is still happening. I could say, yes, seeking is happening. There's awareness of that. But in my understanding, enlightenment, there's peace. Um, a peace that kind of stops the seeking, you know? That's my waiting. That's what I wanted to share.
I just wanted to say that we could talk for as long as we wanted about all this stuff, but at the end of the day, nothing we really say makes any real sense. Or I think that's what non-duality is. I don't think it's really about finding anything or getting anywhere or becoming enlightened or ending your seeking, because, like, where is that seeking now, right here? And isn't that just something you were told, that seeking is bad and you can't do it, and that is what blocks you from enlightenment? It just, I don't know. I just can't take anything anyone says seriously anymore. I can't take anything about anything seriously, about the me, about seeking, about enlightenment, about awakening, about this, about that, about blah 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 blah. I just can't. There's something so beautiful about just living here now in this presence, and or not even. I don't know. I don't like saying much about it in a concrete way, because it just makes it seem like when you end your seeking, you're just gonna be happy all the time, or it's just gonna
Yeah.
be absolutely amazing and beautiful and all these things, and just like it holds you back from just being alive, just going to a birthday party or hanging out with friends or eating food, or just, it's sad. And then you just die, and it doesn't really matter whether you were happy or not, but yeah.
Thank you, Addie. That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's so simple. It's I love what you just shared. There's nothing to get. I used to look at other truth seekers, or, whatever, non-dual teachers, and I would grab onto their experience thinking that I have to have that experience. It's nothing like that. This is very simple. It's very ordinary. It's the mind doesn't like that. It's like, yeah, but you know, it's just a thought. Like right now, this is it, right? Laughing.
Yeah.
Or even going to the bathroom. That's it. I'm liberated, taking a shower, and I love what you shared, Addie, because that's what I see here. It's just, I can get the anger can come up, sensations can come up, sadness can come, all these sensations can come up. And it's seen as just sensations. And there can be stories with it, but that's okay too. But it's just being fully human. Nothing to get, nowhere to arrive, because there's nowhere to arrive. It's right here. Like I'm rubbing my back. This is it. I'm awakening right now. The wind from the air conditioning. It's not what this mind said that it should be. There were so many expectations that I was identified with, like, oh, and it's nothing like that.
Yeah. That's what you want it to be. You want it to be this incredible explosion, and that's what keeps you seeking. You need it to
Yeah.
be that. Because like if it's already pleasant and nice, you're like, isn't it supposed to be better than this? And that's literally just a thought. It's just it's like it's okay. That's all I want to say. It's okay. You are perfect and loved and a cute little bean. You should just go and snuggle up in a blanket. That's about it.
And the body's not used to that either. The system is so used to thoughts and identification and concepts that when the attention started going on to the sensations of the body, it was like, wow, like I can feel full anger and it's okay. But I used to identify with the thought that's like, why are you being angry? You shouldn't be angry. Let's write about this for like days.
Like, let's change this, let's fix this, like there's something wrong with it. And
Yeah.
it kind of comes and goes quicker.
And that judgment just leaves. Sometimes anger comes up at work, and it's wonderful because that judgment that I was attached to for a seeming long time is not here.
Yeah.
And so that's why it feels freeing, even though it's freeing for no one. It's just freedom arising, like, it's cool, man. It's all right.
But
Yeah.
the judgment and the attachment to the judgment is also this. So
Yes.
there's no freedom from that. There's no
Right.
freedom if you're judging and judging the judging and suffering. If you think you're gonna go, that's it. That's it. If it's not found there, it's not gonna be found anywhere. It's not gonna be in this other place when we're not searching.
Well,
It can't be. It's either now in any condition or it's in no condition.
that's
It's now.
absolutely.
So if you, like I always say, if you're suffering, that's it. I mean, that's the ultimate. That's the one suffering. So you can be joyous in that suffering if you want to, or you can suffer, I guess, and not be joyous.
Like I'm watching these people right now. It's my friend's parents, and they suffer a lot. I can see it. They're deeply depressed. They don't really have much joys in life. But I'm watching them eat, and they're just cute. Like there's nothing wrong with them, even if they're just basic suffering, like unhappy, dead inside individuals. They're still eating their dinner, and they're little cute little farts on a couch. It's just like they're not doing it either. It's just happening at the same time. It's funny. You
Okay, I want to be a provocateur for just a minute here. If that's all right with what Don and Indira and Addie are saying. And he's just like, yeah, I want to be a provocateur because I want to suggest that what we're hearing, that there is an aha that happened, that there was a tipping point that occurred when the sense of, or even Addie talking about seeing the people sitting there, and that she's able to see like the perfection of what is, that there's been a recognition that what is this being, this fulfillment, this whatever it is, whatever our word is for this emptiness, this bliss of our nature, this causeless okayness that we are, that either that it pervades everything or that is better than anything that the mind can find through experience, through the new car, $10 million, sex with the person partner. Like there has been, I'm going to say that there has been an aha. There was a significant shift that happened. And back to you guys. That's my provocateur moment.
know?
Thanks for that, Sid. Man, it wasn't bliss. It wasn't peace when it tipped or whatever. It was like seeing that all the beliefs are beliefs. Yeah. it felt like giving up. It felt like disillusionment. But there was an underlying piece of like, finally, there's nothing that's missing. There's nothing to get, even that piece that you want to get. It's like there's nothing to get. But then peace can come from the lightening up of the beliefs and all that. But it's quite a full-on experience. It's not just like misery and then peace. It's like magnifying more misery, more peace. I don't know, just more full-onness, it feels like. And then it comes and goes quick.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I never felt significant. I think that's why I was waiting was for an aha, really. I saw it for so long that something in me was like, no, it can't be this simple. And there has to be an aha. It's gonna switch, something has to switch. And there just never, that never happened. It never, ever, ever, ever happened. And what really happened was,
Sorry, what happened, Daddy?
That,
I missed it.
that's what happened. To me, it's almost like a recognition of something that's never not been here.
Yeah.
And if you don't recognize that, it's not a going to something, it's recognizing that, oh, here it is. And I've been looking outside of myself for those highlight experiences, these extraordinary things all the time, going from teacher to teacher to this to that, studying, reading over and over again, never not giving up that way. And until you finally do, you recognize it. I haven't, it's not about making progress for the doer. The doer is going to better itself. It's almost like a psychological fix because it's temporary. But the recognition that something is here right now and has never not been here, and just kind of, it's almost like embracing that in a way, but there's nobody that's embracing it. It's just this. And like Michael said, the already really does help because your mind can go, oh, if it's been that way already, how did I miss it? And then you go, forget about that. It's already here. It's almost like, why am I still looking for something that's present right now?
Beautiful, Manny.
I'm at this place right now where I'm looking, I'm a seeker looking for it. And it's getting more where the seeking is okay. It's like the seeking itself is just really okay. I still am like seeking in the future for when the big thing happens, the big explosion happens, and that's okay. And I do all my practices. I come to this meeting, do my practice, do my meditation, do this, do that, and you could say that's just what's happening, and that is what's happening, or the bigger that's what's happening. But like Sid says, there's also it's almost like two things are happening at once, right? Sort of vibrationally, they're happening two different things at once. So I think that seeking is so totally fine, and not just that seeking is coming up in awareness, not just that. That sort of to me that sort of minimizes the seeking. Seeking itself, seeking itself is God seeking God. So it's perfect as that. It has a destination, and it's also God at the same time. It's God everywhere here, and God seeking the God that thinks that it's out there somewhere. So I think everything's okay. And there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere not to go.
Dawn, can you point to the seeking?
Can I what?
Can you point to it?
The seeking here?
Yeah, where is it?
How do you know you're seeking?
It's where is it here? It's sort of between my brain and my heart in this body.
What is it?
Is it a feeling?
No. Well, it contains feeling. There's a feeling to it, but it's not feeling. The seeking itself is not a feeling, although I can feel it.
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a seeking.
Seeking.
And what is it without that word?
What's it seeking for? Oh, sorry, Addie, you did
Oh,
different.
it's seeking for enlightenment over here, or whatever you want to call it. Seeking God.
Does it feel like a tightness in the body, or does it feel like an openness?
Oh, an openness, much more space, very spacious, very opening, like a moving towards, expanding.
When I was seeking, I wasn't open. Well, I said I was. I believed I was totally, but it, the seeker is just focused on an end object that it thinks is God. It's going to do it for me. And unless I get that, whatever it is, I'm not satisfied. So the openness is openness to everything. And it's not constricted by this idea of this experience has to happen in order for me to be okay whenever. Some people call it the next life. It's
What's wrong with you, Dawn?
There's nothing wrong with him. That's the thing. But I'm seeking to find something that's better.
and that's beautiful. That right there, I think it cannot be denied or think that there's something better than that. I think that's one of the traps. That's it right there. Anything more than that is add-on.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, if then something drops way over here as I'm doing that, then cool. If what I get is what Indira and Michael and a lot of people are talking about, oh, I welcome it. If it happens, I really do. But here it is. What if that dropping off never happens? What if it never happens? Well,
yeah.
Well,
it never happens.
What if it we'll say what?
What if it never happens?
Is it? That's my question. No.
What if this really is it and it's perfect and you're already awake?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or I'm saying, if it never happens and you're asleep, you're not awake. I'm saying the perfection that's here is just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything else. It's just this.
If
so what are you
it
seeking for?
And then you.
Very good.
I just said, so what are you seeking for again if it's always perfect now?
Seeking perfection.
It's perfect right now.
Yeah, it's perfection.
You got it. You got
right.
it.
It's perfection seeking perfection.
And you got it.
That's weird.
It's already here. It's like
I got it. Okay.
Gone. And that seeking may continue, but that's perfect. Like you say,
Well, it is not perfect and then seeking. There's no separation between the two. So it's not perfection seeking. And then there's seeking. There's perfection seeking. or seeking perfection. There's just one. There's just one. You can't divide this stuff off, right?
Yeah.
All right, love this group.
I love you, Don.
And I love you for getting me the link.
What about if there's
Wait,
like a
change a
little
thing, not one thing.
if there's a little choice here or a little sense of the seeker, and the question is if it's really believed that something could be better than what's here now. Like it almost has to be identified with and believed for the seeking to be taken seriously, or otherwise it's just like the movement of life. Oh, we'll try chocolate ice cream or peppermint, that might be better, I might enjoy that, but it's all in play. It's really not believed that one ice cream is going to give me something better than what's already here.
I found that after years and years of doing that, that it was a bottomless basket. It never satisfied for very long. Sure, it gives you a thrill and it'll do this and that, and then you're seeking again. Then you're seeking again because the mind is constantly trying to absorb the experience and call it its own. And I'm the one that's doing this. And so life is happening. The mind comes in late and kind of describes what just happened, and it's not sure about it, and it comes up with a better idea of this contented moment. It doesn't want that. It wants excitement. It wants thrills, and so it keeps on giving me those, and then I just go back and forth in the teeter-totter, just the merry-go-round or the roller coaster. All of those things are just rides that I've taken all my life. And how long, at a certain point, you say, enough is enough. I don't have to beat myself up trying to get to something that doesn't last. And it's okay to be. And the other thing is that you understand other people that are going through this. And you don't judge them. You don't, because there's no separation. And one other thing I wanted to say is when people talk about, well, Indira and these other people have these special qualities, there are no special qualities. It's also an idea that my mind conjures up and says, when I get that special quality, I'll be able to say I'm enlightened or I'm, whatever it is. Is that true?
Right now, I feel like a lot of compassion for why the mind conjures those things up. Because I think for me, like what I've noticed is the more this is seen and the more there is like dropping the story and then there's the rawness of the sensation, it can feel like I want to crawl out of my own skin. Like, and there's like things come up that it's an embodied thing I've noticed where the mind is then like grasping for like, wait, what, like where's my anchor that I've used before? And so, um, and again, like you can't unsee what you've seen, but I guess I'm feeling into that like pain that's there sometimes in and understanding why there is seeking. It's not, which I don't think anyone is saying, just to feel a thrill or avoid discomfort. It's sometimes like trying to find your footing when things are falling apart, and it's all falling apart on its own too. Um, and yeah, it's like at some point maybe you wish you could go back, but you can't anymore. I don't know if that relates.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
So if
Ken
there was
Wilber.
some, okay, you go.
No, you.
If there was an explosion, Don, is there a story about what that would feel like or how long that would last for?
Sure.
What's the story?
It would be an LSD 24/7 with no come down.
Fair enough.
That's all I want.
You could just take LSD nonstop. Actually, no come.
As the provocateur, there is a shadow side that some of the speakers talk about. Ken Wilber, who's a philosopher on this, says, beware of the flatland. When we say it's only this, there's nothing to do, nowhere to go, we can still enjoy the discernments as we feel the freedom of Indira's system. And as we hear the where Katie points to, it's like, yes, and something is looking for footing. We can notice the difference in that, and that these aspects of us that are still looking to hold on to something or still believing that there's something else to be gotten. And just to be able to, it's not all the same. There is a maturity that's the provocateur. I'm going to suggest there is a maturity that happens. We can hear it in Michael's system. As you can see the difference in Michael and me. I'm all like, hey, I've got something to say. I'm excited about this. And he's just sitting back here in this bliss of being. I mean, yeah, exactly. But then we have to be careful about getting into the progressive path. There's something to get, there's grasp, but there's something missing. But I still want to suggest that we have to. This is for me. This is the shadow side of radical non-duality, and that's provocateur Sid throwing it in.
I liked what Katie said. What one scene, you can't unsee it, and it's like it's with thoughts. For me, I remember when I was doing the inquiry, I was writing, well, thoughts are coming up and I'm talking out loud through them and blah 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 blah, and it was like one scene, you can't unsee it. I all of a sudden I was just seeing that what I was typing was thoughts, and then so now it's like it's okay that they're trying to land, because sometimes thoughts will try to land, but I'm seeing that. I'm not engaging it. It's like, oh, that's I don't know. There's no specialness in this. Every fucking person on this planet has this. But I liked when she said that, because that's how it is here. And shadows to me are just emotions, raw fucking emotions that come up sometimes, sensations that will come up, in this body. And it does feel very raw. And it feels raw because, I mean, there may be story to it, but there's more attention on the sensations, whereas there was more attention on the story of it. Mine loves story, just if I could just grab onto the story, and then there was the obsession, and then each day it was like an obsession over that. Whereas now, if jealousy comes up in the body, which it has come up, it's like, oh wow, well that's fucking uncomfortable. It's the feeling of that, where or I talk about frustration. Frustration is felt. Sometimes there's a story and sometimes there isn't. But the attention seems to be more on here, the sensations, the location, even in the body. I can even feel it in the body, in the stomach area. Whereas before, there wasn't any of that. Not that it's special. I go back to what Katie just said. The same thing here. One seen, unseen. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. it's so damn subtle. It's so easy to not see, and it's hard to see at the same time. Michael?
Yeah. No, it is because it's not saying anything.
Yeah.
It's not drawing attention. The silence right now isn't doing anything. It's not saying, hey, look at me, notice me. It just is. And I wanted to make a little announcement. If you guys enjoyed this, Indira and I will be doing it again on Friday, this coming Friday in 2 days. Um, Friday the 13th, as a matter of fact. Yay, 10 a.m. Pacific time. I think most of you are on my list, but if you want to shoot me a message on Facebook, I can add you to the email list.
Is it the same link, Michael?
I'm sorry, is what the same length?
Is it the same link that you send out for your open meetings for
It'll be
Wednesday?
a different link. I make a new link for every meeting. So for Indira and I, it'll be a new link, which I will send out. I think you're on my list, so you'll get it. And if anyone would like to receive it, we'd love to have you. Any final comments, questions before we close out this evening?
I just want to thank Katie and Pasha for being here. I think you said their first time, so welcome, and it was really good listening to you guys. That's all. And the rest of you, well, I'm used to you guys.
Wow.
Dawn.
Who's the real saboteur?
Love you
Yeah.
too, man.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, guys. Have a great evening, everybody.
Sending
Take
you all
care.
love.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.